I rode the previous gen YZF-R3 right here at the Buddh International Circuit at the then first media ride of that motorcycle. In fact, soon thereafter, I rode the bike on the road for several thousand kilometers. In fact, I even did a story titled RD versus R3. If you Google RD versus R3, that story would still be the #1 search result. Fast forward to December 2023 today, 15th of December, I just rode the latest R3, and the cherry on top is that I also rode the MT-03. So in this video, I'll tell you about both the motorcycles, the R3 and the MT-03 as well. Please excuse us for not having the MT-03 right now in this frame. I'll put shots in there because there is a fight for motorcycles, lot of journalists, less number of motorcycles, so you'll have to make do with this. And I must also tell you that every one of us got to ride each motorcycle for 15 minutes each. So 15 minutes of track time on the YZF-R3, 15 minutes of track time on the MT-03. Therefore, since this is a first ride review, I will only be able to tell you 5 things about this motorcycle, 4 or 5 things. Number 1, the top speed, okay, the performance. Number 2, vibrations. Number 3, handling, of course. We are on a racetrack. Number 4, the braking performance. And number 5, the tire grip as well, all right? And of course, if on the go something strikes me that I can tell you this as well, you will hear that about both the motorcycles. So let's start with the basics first. In fact, this is something that the majority would want to know, the top speed. On this one, I hit a speedo indicated 178 kilometers per hour. In 2015, on the previous Gen R3, I had hit a top speed of, again, a speedo indicated top speed of 175 kilometers per hour. On the MT-03, I managed somewhere around 170 to 173. So there is no change in the powertrain, even the gearbox ratios, the primary reduction and the final drive ratio, there are no changes at all in both the motorcycles, all right? The difference in top speed is, essentially due to the fact that this one is faired, it has better aerodynamics, and that one is a naked motorcycle, and you sit upright on that one as well. So 178 for this one, and 173 for that one, and you can say that you most would be able to take this beyond 165 or at least 160 and above, and same goes for the MT-03. A couple of more bits about the performance. Both the motorcycles cross 110 on the speedo in 3rd gear, and on the slower corners, I deliberately tried to pull it up at a low speed in 3rd gear and 4th gear, which actually reiterated my experience from the previous motorcycle that even both these motorcycles will be very tractable in the city. So beautiful tractability in the city, fantastic performance on the highways, and let me tell you that both the bikes are absolutely stable at the speeds that I just mentioned a while back. Now let's talk about vibrations or the lack of them on both the motorcycles. Now I'm talking about 120 kilometers per hour in 6th gear, okay? Both the bikes have almost zero vibrations. There is a faint buzz, okay, that reminds you that you are actually riding a real motorcycle and not an appliance, okay? You're not riding a washing machine on wheels, also known as an electric motorcycle. So, in short, for tourers, this is the bike that would turn out to be the absolute best in segment. If you are bothered about vibrations on other bikes, this one will tell you that, okay, you can have motorcycles with almost zero vibrations, even at 120, 130, 140. I would say that even at the top whack, you do not feel any vibration at all, and that's a big thing to achieve. Hats off to Yamaha engineers for that. Now let's talk about the best part of owning a Yamaha or riding a Yamaha, the handling. See, I've said this earlier as well. Yamaha makes, the maximum number of fantastic handling motorcycles in the world. Okay, and this motorcycle and the MT-03 are no exception. In fact, this should not come as a surprise to you. Picture this, the R3 was last sold in India in 2019. Okay, it was discontinued before 2020. There are racers who are still using this motorcycle, okay, and in the last 3 years, the R3 has consecutively decimated the TVS factory racing team, the KTMs and everything else. The crux is, handling wise, both these motorcycles are second to none in their respective segments. Now, let me quickly wrap the first ride review by telling you about the brakes and the tire grip as well. See, out here on the racetrack, especially, while exiting a corner, if you apply generous amount of throttle, okay, the rear will step out, all right. Now, you would not ride like this out there on the road. So, I would say that the tires, would suffice for road usage. In fact, I was not at all disappointed with the braking as well, although it does not have radial calipers. The brakes work fantastic. I was able to brake just in time, okay, without going into the gravel, trap. So I would say that yes, in your day-to-day riding and even enthusiastic riding, no one will be, disappointed with the brakes or with the tire grip. But then yes, if you have to do track days, you would need better rubber, that's for sure. Now, those of you who are still wondering after watching the reviews from Thailand whether this bike has a slipper clutch or not, because half of the reviewers said that there is slipper clutch, a few said that there isn't. So what's the truth? The truth is, no, this bike does not get a slipper clutch. This does not have traction control either. Not that I'm complaining, okay, but then it is my duty to tell you what exactly this bike is and what all it gets and what all it does not get. So the list is pretty long as far as the electronic aids or rider aids are concerned. This bike gets dual channel ABS. I'm sure some of you would remember that when the 2015 bike came in, it did not have ABS. Later on, it did get ABS. So this has ABS as well. Other than that, there are no electronics, no rider aids as such. Of course, there is no Bluetooth as well. Now, I'll tell you what, I do not give two hoots about the absence of Bluetooth. However, even I had expected that now this iteration of the R3 and even the MT-03 as well might get, a slipper clutch. It might get bidirectional quick shifter. These things should have been there in both the motorcycles. Let's hope that Yamaha listens to us and equips both the motorcycles sometime in the near future, and hopefully you would be able to retrofit both these things on your R3 and MT-03 if you are purchasing the motorcycle right now. So now let's talk about the verdict. What's the verdict, you ask? See, the R3 is already a proven motorcycle, okay, and I'm talking about India. In fact, globally, even the MT-03 is also a proven motorcycle, right? And there won't be an exception in Indian conditions. Even the MT-03 would prove to be as reliable, okay, as trouble-free as its fair sibling, that's the YZF-R3. They are essentially the same motorcycle. Okay, even this one has fairing, that one doesn't have a fairing, and this one has clip-on handlebars, that one has a taller, okay, one-piece handlebar. So that's the only difference, and of course, yes, that gets a projector unit at the front, and this does not get it. This has, the conventional, a slightly, I would say, old-school headlight setup as far as the design is concerned. Otherwise, lights all around are LEDs. So coming back to it, see, both are proven motorcycles. Both, be it performance, I'm talking about engine performance, okay, gearbox smoothness, lack of vibrations, and the handling. These are the two most important parameters when you look at a motorcycle like this one, or even for the MT-03. And on top of that, both the motorcycles will be amazingly easy to ride in the city. So in these aspects, both motorcycles are absolutely second to none in their segments. Eventually it will boil down to the type of person you are. Now you have to introspect and you have to find out whether you are a gadget person or a motorcycle person. If you are both, whether you are more of a motorcycle person and less of a gadget person, or vice versa. So both these motorcycles are for people who are motorcycle people and not gadget people, and even for those who are more into motorcycles than they are into gadgets, this bike and the MT-03 are for those kind of riders. So that was the long and short of it. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I'll see you soon in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.